midterm elections. In a statement on his Truth Social platform, Trump declared he would lead a movement to eliminate mail-in ballots and voting machines, calling them inaccurate, expensive, and a source of massive voter fraud. He instead pushed for the use of paper ballots with watermarks, claiming they would deliver immediate and unquestionable results. Trump also asserted that US states must follow the federal government's lead in counting votes, describing them as agents of Washington. He argued Democrats rely on mail-in voting to win elections, vowing the Republican Party that it would like to fight like hell to restore what he called honesty and integrity to the system. The president's comments are likely to fuel fresh controversy ahead of the 2026 midterms, with Democrats expected to strongly oppose his orders. Sorry for that background noise if you can hear it. We are shortly going to be joined by Cliff Smith, who is a national security and government affairs professional who joins us live from Washington, D.C. Cliff, thank you very much. Sorry for that audio in the background. I hope you heard what I was saying there. But this is Donald Trump, who is saying basically he wants to change the way that elections happen for the midterms, which are coming in 2026. Of course, this rhetoric of voter fraud is something that has been a poignant topic of the Trump administration since he lost the election to Joe Biden. Is this further emphasis of those claims? And do you think this is only coming because of that situation that happened in 2020?
No, I don't think so. Donald Trump has been saying these kinds of things basically his entire political career. I mean, he started out in the 2016 election saying the only way he would lose is if they cheated. Casting doubt on the election system with little to no reason is precisely what he's done basically his entire career. He does it more and more pointedly when he thinks he's going to lose. The midterms are unlikely to be good to him. It's a matter of how bad. So he's looking to cast blame and maybe even try to find a way to monkey with the results. I'm not super worried about it. I think that ironically, the states he can probably make the most difference in terms of leading, a movement, as he put it, to change the rules, are states that he's already won or going to do well in anyway, and his party is. So ironically, it's going to be states that have Republican state legislators and Republican governors. So the ones where he's most likely to have influence, the one where he least likely needs it or least likely is able to really change things. That said, I mean, anybody that was in, Washington, D.C., or even just paid attention on January 6th should be concerned about this rhetoric and should be concerned about, floating these phantom concerns without, without good reason, which he's never, ever provided. So that's the way I would see it.
And Cliff, what would be the implications if the current voting system is changed and switched to paper ballots with watermarks, as Trump has suggested? Could this see a shift in the amount of voters, whether that's up or down?
It's possible, sure. I mean, generally these kinds of changes are made to make voting easier, faster, things like that. So it's possible. But again, voting is administered by the states, and the states that are most likely to comply with Donald Trump's wishes are ones that's already on his side. The irony is it could seek to lower voting turnout in states where he's either, likely to win anyway, and so it's a kind of an odd thing. I don't see it making a fundamental difference, but it's always a little bit hard to know exactly what Trump is up to. He changes his mind a lot. His rhetoric is not always clear, so I guess we'll see.
Yes, absolutely. And Cliff, finally, how do you think this will be perceived by the US public? Is this going to be a positive move seen by Trump supporters and maybe negative by those who don't support him? Or is this generally looked at as something that needed overhauling anyway?
I don't think it registers with the great broad public at all, frankly. I think it registers with hardcore partisans in favor of Trump and also activates Democratic constituencies against him. I do not think there is even, 10% of the country, certainly not half of the country, that actually thinks very much about these issues. It's basically a signal to his base and a way to sort of, maybe rile up the other side, get them going in the wrong direction, distract from other areas where things are going less well, be it inflation, be it Russia, Ukraine, things of that nature.
Yes, absolutely. Cliff Smith, thank you ever so much for taking the time to speak with us. Of course, we wait to see how this develops. But let's move now to Europe. And in France, at least one person has been killed and 9 others injured after a gas cylinder explosion triggered a fire in a residential building in the southern suburbs of Lyon. The blast occurred at around 3:30 a.m. in the Minguets district of Venesso, inside a 7-story building. Images shared on social media showed the structure engulfed in flames as firefighters battled the blaze through the night. The injured have been taken to hospital while officials continue to assess the damage and investigate the cause.